In this McBurrs tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can crop and resize a photo using GIMP, which comes on the McBurrs photo editing disk. First thing you want to do is with GIMP open, go to File, Open, and select the image from your hard drive where you want to edit it. So here I have the desktop selected, and I have my image here that I want to edit. Over here you can see the preview. So now that we have it selected, just go and click Open. You'll see the image open here in the main window, and then you have the toolbox positioned over here. Some users, the toolbox may be on the left side. I prefer to have it over here. So the first thing we're going to do is crop the photo. So going over to the toolbox, we want to go to the third row and go to the second from the left, which is called the crop tool, and it looks like the little X-Acto knife. So clicking on this, we have it selected. We go over and we want to draw a rectangle around the image. So holding the mouse down, left click, and then move your mouse so it selects the area that you want to crop. Here you can see I have pretty much the headshot cropped, but one thing I want to do is adjust it and make it a little bit taller at the top. So you can go over to any one of these corners at the top, and holding the mouse button down, the left button, click on it and then move it up. You can play around with it a little just to see how it changes. This whole dark area outside will be eliminated once we hit enter. I'm going to change it a little bit more. And this looks good enough for the example. So here you see the selected area in the brighten section that I want to have selected, and the rest is going to be cut out. So once I have it selected, I'm happy with it. Just hit enter on your keyboard. That'll make the rest of the picture disappear. The next thing in this tutorial we're going to do is resize the photo. If you look at the top, on the top toolbar, you can see the dimensions of the photo. This is in pixels. You can see it's 222 by 293 pixels. Now let's say this is okay for Facebook or MySpace or something like that, but let's say for another website they want it to be a smaller photo with a maximum size of 80 pixels in width. So what we want to do is resize it. We can do this by going to Image and Scale Image. With the Scale Image menu open, you can go to Image Size and change the width. I'm going to change it to 80 like I just said, and if you click on the height, you're going to see it automatically adjust. The reason it automatically adjusts is because I have it locked, which is set by default. If you happen to click this and unlock it, you'll be able to change the width without adjusting the height. Now the reason you want to keep it locked in most cases is because as you adjust the width, you want the height to change with it to keep the picture proportionate and not distorted. So anyway, we went in here, we changed 80, the height adjusted automatically, we had it locked, and now we're ready to scale it. Click Scale, and you'll see that the image adjusted. One or two other things you might want to do is brighten the image or darken it. So we can do this by going to Colors, Brightness, Contrast. And I'll move this over just a little bit so you can see it next to the image. And here you can adjust the brightness. You can see it over on the right on the page how it's adjusting. See it getting darker there. So let's say I want to brighten it just a little bit. So that's fine. And then contrast you can also change if you want. You can see that's a little intense there, so what you might want to do is move it a little bit to the right, all depending on your photo. So I'm happy with that there. We can click OK. There we have our edited photo. We're now ready to save it, which is the final step. Do this by going to File, Save As, type the name of the image you want to save. I'll just keep it at Crop Resize. Now what's important is that you change the file extension on the back of it. Sometimes it might be by default saved as .xcf, which is the default file type in GIMP. We want to save it as a JPG photo because that can be viewed anywhere on the web without any problems, and in several other programs as well. So here we've saved it, did in the file name, saved it as a JPEG. You want to choose where you want to save it. I'm going to save it to my desktop. Finally, you're ready to save. click Save. I'm going to replace the photo. This won't come up for you, but because I already had a photo named this, it's asking if I want to replace it. So I'm going to click Replace. The final step, when you save a JPEG photo, it asks the quality. By default it's on 85, which is usually fine to keep. If it's a really intricate picture, you might want to move it all the way up to 100. And that'll give it a little bit better quality, but it also gives a larger file size. I'm just going to keep it at 85 because it won't make a difference. And you just click Save. And now it's saved. So that was pretty much it. I've shown you in this tutorial how to crop and resize a photo, as well as brighten and contrast. If you want to do additional effects, they can be found on the page whose link was included with the CD, or the page where you download the software.